Let's see. Good morning, everybody. Still waiting to see Jim here. Let's see. I see Kathy with a hand up, but let me make sure that Jim's with us before we get started.
Was just a little bit of delay there.
Okay.
I took a detour through the Twilight Zone for a minute.
Yeah. I hope that wasn't too frightening. Okay. Well, thanks, everybody. We've got the meeting report mostly put together, or our conference board report. We want to finish this morning with the conversation of the long-term policy ideas or suggestions that were put forward yesterday by both U.S. side and Canada, and get comments from everybody on those. We're not looking to try and create one document or work towards consensus at this point. I think there'll be more time for that. And then once we wrap that up, we'll take a break. We'll finalize the report, get it out to all of you, and give everybody 45 minutes or so to read it and come back together and see.
Yeah, there's some people. There's some members, Linda, that can't activate mics or.
My mic
Ed just said everyone's mic is now enabled. I see Chris's is. Where's Dan? Dan mentioned his wasn't.
No, yeah, it looks like most of them are not.
You might have to just go reactivate it again yourselves. Apparently they can hear us.
Okay, well, I'll just keep talking for a minute while we get that worked out. So we'll give everybody a chance to go through the report and then come back together to go through that painful group edit process, hopefully with minimum changes, but to make sure if there's anything we've made a mistake on or misrepresented, any of that we make sure we get it corrected. So I still see a lot of mics turned off. Colin, why don't you let me know when you think we have folks working?
So right now, everybody should have access to their microphones. All you need to do is go click the microphone icon in the top bar of the window of this platform, and then it should turn green, and don't forget to mute yourself afterwards, or we'll be able to.
Someone is in the rain. Oh. Okay.
Well, we've had 5 days of fog.
Nice. We won't talk about
winter. It's just wonderful.
Jeez. Okay, so does everybody feel like they can get to their mic if they need to? Does anybody have any questions before we get started? I think we're going to we can start with Canada back up first and give people a chance to ask questions, make comments on that, and then put the U.S. Recommendation up and do the same there.
I see Lenny just put something in the chat.
Okay. He's just asking to make sure he has his numbers for voting. Okay, so we'll start with Canada, and just for everybody. Go ahead, Colin.
Sorry, I just want to let you know that we are working on the naming conventions right now, so just stand by. We will get those covered.
Okay. All right. Hopefully everybody can see this. or have
Ed,
it
can you make
in
that a
your-
bit bigger, please? If it's possible. There, that's good.
All right.
So does someone?
So, sorry, go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say, does someone from Canada want to say anything, or but I interrupt your what you were saying, Linda. It's
No, I think that's
Sorry, go
fine.
ahead.
We could start with anybody from Canada making further comment on this, and then take comments from the US side. And then we'll move to the US one. So hopefully everybody's waking up, ready to go here.
I see Chris has got his hand up.
Yeah, okay. I knew Chris would be quick to wake up here. Okay. Chris, why don't you
No, not quick to wake up, but I'm here, yeah. But I can't complain. You're earlier than I am in Alaska, so. A couple things I just wanted to note. We discussed this, our Canadian Conference Board reps discussed this last night, and we're not really prepared to engage in a big discussion on this. We think there's a few things. The Commission has already provided direction and a work plan for MSAB for the 2021-23 period, and they're looking at management procedures with respect to size limit, multi-year agreements, and the Commission's also basically given some direction about no new management procedures or no new management procedures on scale or distribution. We've got a work plan, and I think there's little point in getting too detailed discussion on management procedures or any of this stuff until we get some direction from the Commission on distribution and on any revised or new objectives for MSAB. So I think these are the points up here that the Canadian Conference Board members have noted. They've noted these following considerations for distributing mortality limits, but I'm not sure how much further we can go today. I certainly appreciate the comments put forward by Dan, but until we get some direction from the Commission, we're just going to be spinning our wheels. Thank you.
Okay, I think there might be what I've heard from the US side is that stakeholders felt largely left out of the setting of the interim management agreement. And so there may be more of an interest from the US side in commenting, but we did not caucus last night, so I'm just going on past conversations. Let me see if there's anybody from the US side who would like to
Sorry, Linda. Just one comment on that. I guess we hear that I've heard comments that there was no consultation or it wasn't brought to the conference board. I guess, and again, just from my perspective, that if you look back in the 2018-2019 conference board notes, Canada was talking about national shares at that point. Canada's been talking since for years that it does not support apportionment as a way of distributing the TCUI. And I guess, is it a communication issue or is it a process issue? For example, when the agreement was being negotiated, we were getting updates from our commissioners. Every year, Conference Board and PAB put forward their recommendations to the commissioners. Commissioners can accept it. They can adopt that, or they can do something else, and they don't bring it back to Conference Board or PAG after that. They say, this is our decision, and this is what's happened here. So I just question whether it's a process issue or a communication issue. And I'd just like to make that noted for the record.
Yeah, I understand that. And, regardless, I think there's strong interest from the US side in being ready to comment at this time. So there isn't a communication issue or process question on the policy moving forward. So it's fine if Canada is where you are and you're happy with this as your statement. That's fine. I just want to give the US side a chance to express their perspective as well. I guess comments we have? Anybody? Let's see. We'll give, is that, okay. Dan, sorry, I thought I saw Krista's hand up, but Dan, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, thanks. I do think that the minutes should just note both this and the U.S. perspectives. I'm not sure there's a lot of action the conference board is going to take at this time. I do agree with their point number one, that the early initiation of negotiations is going to be helpful to try and get something that in place for next year, I mean the 2023 season. When I look through kind of where Canada feels the goals for the program should be, I can understand it, but I guess I get looking at number two. There's no mention of abundance in that, and I know that that's kind of like the fundamental difference between our paradigms. I think most U.S. stakeholders feel that between the contracting parties especially, the distribution should be based, generally speaking, on the yield from the halibut that reside primarily within their waters. And another side should not be asked to give up yield from halibut that spend their whole life in their waters without really strong reasons. And the fact that abundance and the amount of resource within Canadian waters is not mentioned anywhere in this, to me just kind of shows the gap that's going to be very difficult to bridge. And I agree with Chris. I don't think we're going to bridge it at the conference board, and I don't think we're going to bridge it at the MSAB, because that's the fundamental problem. The rest of their points there are interesting, but until you actually bridge that first gap, they're secondary to me. They're just kind of fine-tuning knobs and things. I do believe we account for all sources of mortality, both U26 and O26 in the decisions table currently. Not sure where the uncertainty goes with it. I mean, and that's certainly not a rationale for giving one nation more fish, because the precision of the total removal estimates in another nation is not as good. And I'm not sure what the forum to judge that would be. And I'm not sure who's going to define the minimum standards of accuracy and precision for monitoring. I mean, I think those are all worthwhile goals to work towards long term, but honestly, over the next coming year, they're too vague for me to say, kumbaya. I love those ideas. I know we have confidence intervals on our removal estimates, and I know we have a peer review process for our monitoring program. But if it's and I'm not sure what 5 would really do unless we want to get some international independent body to examine our national programs and come up with some standards. It seems like that's kind of an interesting idea over a long term, but it's really not something that's going to move us off this coming year. So, I'm not prepared to agree with any of the points in the Canadian statement. I think they're fine statements from the Canadian perspective. I've heard them before, but to me, the starting point is, what role does abundance play in the distribution between two countries? And I think the commissioners are going to have to resolve that. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Okay, well, I think, despite the ending comment, that we do seem to all agree that starting to work on this sooner rather than later is a good move. Okay, any further comments from either side on what's on the screen, this Canadian? And how would you like us to title this, I guess, Jim, Chris? Recommendations for preliminary recommendations?
I think it would just be Canadian Conference Board members noted the following considerations for distributing mortality limits.
Okay, considerations. Okay. Great. All right. Thank you. Well, let's put up the U.S. one now and see if there's any comments from U.S. stakeholders or Canadian stakeholders. on another on that. Dan, is that a new hand, residual hand?
It is. I just wanted, before we have the discussion, to say I did get some feedback from US folks, and they did suggest a couple of small wording changes that maybe put in there before we get too far into the US comments. I think the first small change is in the upper paragraph A, where it says consider both science-based indices and explicit policy consideration. There was a comment to include such as the FISS right after science-based industries, specifically reference the survey.
Okay.
Because, you know, the position of the stars and the moon are science-based indices as well. But I'm not sure they're the appropriate ones to use. So we put in the words, consider both science-based indices such as the FISS and explicit policy considerations under A.
Got it. Okay. I'm not able to make changes to that right now. Colin, are you able to insert those words? Oops. Such as the FISS.
That's it.
Okay.
And then in C, the other comment was that very active fishing by one contracting party is going to affect the abundance in another contracting party's areas. You know, obviously the United States quota would be higher if Canada didn't have any halibut fisheries, and likewise the Canadian quotas would be higher if the US had no halibut fisheries. And so we might want to really just clarify and see that we mean when one contracting party is harvesting above the abundance within their area. So I would just add to that. So we have ensure that one contracting party's apportionment, and I put in a phrase that says if they harvest above the yield resulting from the halibut abundance within their waters.
Ensure that one contracting party's apportionment. Right there, you want it?
Yeah, put in a little comma.
Oh, comma, okay.
If they harvest above the yield resulting from the halibut abundance within their waters.
Yield.
I know, I can see your English major coming out.
If they harvest above the yield resulting, did I get it right?
Or, yeah, generated by halibut abundance within their waters. I mean, the comment is that, you know, very active fishing is going to have an effect on other countries. And we just want to say that, you know, each nation is allowed to harvest the yield from the halibut within their waters. And if you go above that, that's where this concern kicks in about doing no harm.
Is that close enough, or does that work?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any others?
The last two comments are pretty easy because they're deletions.
Okay.
Point out in the second section as you move down.
I'm not able to scroll. Oh, maybe you can. No, it's not letting me scroll, Colin. Maybe you can move it.
Which section do you need that for?
The next paragraph, the next bullet points. There you go.
Okay. And what one is being deleted?
If you could scroll down
That's as far as I can
so
go.
we can see.
Over to you, Colin.
To pull up the second ABC bullets.
Not sure why it's not allowing me to move it, but I can't move it.
Let's see. Sorry, this is Ed here through the co-chairs. That's what I have for the second paragraph there. Should it be different, or should there be extra points?
There should be a B and a C bullet in the second paragraph.
Oh, we can see a B and C. B is consider smoothing elements at the regulatory area scale. Example, a 3-year rolling average or slow fast down. Maybe you guys can't see
Okay,
that.
operator error on my end. Sorry.
Okay.
So it was pointed out that B is redundant with the paragraph above, so it can be deleted because it's basically the exact same thing as E above.
Okay.
And then the last sentence of A, the effect of these policy choices should be evaluated using the MSE framework. I think it's important to clarify that that could be a multi-year task just because the MSE is very complex. And so being cognizant that we want to have something in place for the 2023 season, I think it's just important to say that that's kind of more of a long-term aspirational thing rather than something that must be done before next year. And it's not intended to say that we want the MSE to develop what some of these ways to distribute the TCEY within U.S. waters is at all. It's specifically to the MSE framework model and running it through to understand long-term impacts rather than trying to throw something back to the MSAB for development.
Okay.
And then we just clarify that if you're asked.
Okay, I'm just gonna make a note.
Thanks for the time to clarify that. Sorry, it had to happen first thing.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Any other U.S. stakeholders? Looks like Brian, you want to comment?
Yes, thank you. Through the chair. Thank you, Dan, for this. I think it looks really good. I just have one suggestion or consideration under A. Under such as the FISS, comma, I wonder if it should say stock assessment and then comma and explicit policy considerations, since the stock assessment is the end result of the FISS, both current and historical.
We accept that as a friendly.
Okay. Good. That capture it for you, Brian?
Yes, it does. Thank
Okay. Anybody else from the U.S. side? And so I guess, this will appear in the conference board minute as sort of the same, using the same language, U.S. U.S. conference board members noted the following as considerations for future distribution policy. And so I just want to make sure everybody on the U.S. side is comfortable with that. You all had a chance to review it, think it through. Okay. Well, that took a lot less time than I thought. Unless other people have something they want to bring up right now, I guess our plan would be to maybe we can take an hour, or what do you think, Jim? I mean, I have to reread the report. We'll make sure this is added in, and then we'll get it out to all of you to review. We'll give you we'll get it out as fast as we can. Let's just say that once we get it to you, we'll give all of you, let's say 45 minutes enough time, but you guys can jump in and tell me if you think you need less or more. And then we will reconvene to go through it. Looks like Rebecca has her hand up.
And so does Robert Harkness.
Oh, Robert does. Now I don't see Rebecca, but Robert, go ahead.
Hi. Yeah, I was just like late last night. I was trying to find the IPHC setline survey index for areas 4A, B, and C, and D and E in the closed area because I'm just trying to understand your trawl apportionment, how that works, and I was just wondering if someone from the Secretariat would be able to send a link, or maybe someone from NOAA would be able to put a link so that I can find it, because I spent a couple hours. I mean, I could just totally have missed it, but yeah, I was just wondering if I could find a link to where I would find that. Thank you.
Yes. Let's see. Hopefully we have
Dr.
some-
Hicks said that he can speak about that real quick.
Oh, it looks like Alicia just put a link in the chat, but is the link what you need, or would you like Dr. Hicks to speak to that, Robert?
If Alan's available, that'd be great. The link is probably good too. I just really want to understand, because like BC has an interest in trying to go to a portion abundance-based trawl as well. So I'm just trying to understand how your guys' works so that we can take what you've done and see if we can apply it to our fishery as well. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, just to note, the abundance-based management of halibut PSC, the bycatch cap transitioning to abundance-based is not in place yet. Approved by the council, should be in place sometime next year. So if you're looking for that information, it might be a different link to the environmental impact statement and council document on abundance-based management. Alan, did you want to respond to that?
Yes, this is Alan Hicks. I just wanted to say, first of all, yeah, thanks to Alicia. It looks like she's putting the exact links that I would mention in the chat there. If you do want to learn more about ABM, I think just looking at agenda item C2, which probably the link that Alicia just put in there for the December 2021 North Pacific Council meeting. There's a lot of documents under that C2, but there will be the halibut ABM draft environmental impact statement, which is a very long document, but the executive summary might be useful to get an overview. And then Alicia already has put in the link to a very short document about the setline survey index for ABM and the trawl survey index updated to through 2021. And those are both in there as well. There was an information document as well for the IM meeting, which describes in a little more detail the setline survey index and how that was derived. That might be useful. Sorry, I cannot remember that exact number. But if you look at the interim meeting and the info document, you'll find that. And then furthermore, just to plug the in Dr. Webster's presentation, he mentioned the Space-Time Explorer, which is a new online tool to explore the space-time model results for the FIS. And it's a lot of fun, but what you can do in there is actually select areas for A, 4B, 4C, D, and E, and it will calculate that ABM index for you. And furthermore, you can actually do it for any area or any stations you want. So it's a tool. Just wanted to give that a little plug, and I'll try to put that link into the chat box in a moment.
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alan. That's appreciated.
Yeah, it looks like we have 2 hands up, and then I want to break pretty quick so we have time to get the review done. So go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, thanks, Linda. And Jim, this is a sidebar note on something entirely different. I was trying to do research on the archives recently, and I noticed that for the RAB, for the interim meeting and the annual meeting, you can't get any information past 2016, and the RAB I think 17. But I was trying to find stuff back in like 14, 15, and there's no access to those sites anymore. They've been shut off. And I'm just kind of curious is that a temporary thing, or is that they've reorganized the site where we can't go back and get archive data on those meetings back, 12, 13, 14? Because everything's been shut off as far as I can see. Anybody know what that is? Why they did that?
Are you talking about the IPHC website?
Yeah. If you go to the annual meeting, the interim meeting, and the RAB, you can't get any data past 2016.
Before 2000.
I'm trying to go through.
I'm going to have someone on staff get back to you on that because I'm feeling really pressed for time.
I'm just curious. Oh, sure, go ahead. That's good.
But someone will help you with that. We want to make sure information is available to people going back as far as they're looking for it, I'm sure. So noted, and see if we can get staff to follow up. Go ahead, Chris.
Just thinking about some of the comments made and looking at B on this one. I just want to make the comment, remind everybody that halibut are a highly migratory species. They don't spend their whole lives in one area. They migrate throughout their lives, and even as adult fish, they move around, and we've heard from the staff that within a given year they could move anywhere within a region. And the staff has come to the conclusion of looking at regions and not just, they've said there's no biological basis for the IPHC regulatory areas. So I'm not sure that that's, first of all, from some of the comments made earlier, and also I'm not sure that B necessarily captures what the IPHC has concluded here. So I just wanted to make that comment. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. I'll make note of that. Okay. All right. So let's break now, and we'll get through the report as quickly as we can. We'll get it sent out to everybody on the conference board. We'll give you 45 minutes to go through it. When we send it out, we'll tell you when we're reconvening. And give you about 45 minutes to go through it, and then we'll come back together and look for any changes and formal adoption before we present it at 12:30 Canadian, right? No, 1:30 Canadian, 12:30 US time. So welcome back, everybody. I hope people had time to review the document, and I would just ask if Ed or Colin, you can kind of make this section on the screen as readable as possible for people. Bigger, in other words, so that we can zip through this together. Pictures are good. There we go. Okay, and I think would it work for us to be able to scroll through, or is it there a
because
reason
it's
why?
a shared screen, I'll have to be the one who scrolls through, so you could just let me know. And
Okay.
I think, okay, that should be a good start there. Oh, and I just want to remind everybody on the top right corner of the what we call a pod, that's showing the document, you can hit the full screen icon if you need to see it closer. So, ready to go.
Okay, great. Well, I would say just go. I would expect nobody's got a problem with these first couple pages, so we can zip on through to opening of the session. And let's just say if you, I guess with it big, I'm not seeing hands now. That's my problem. Oh, here, now I can. Okay, so it looks like Lenny has a hand up. Do you have a comment to make right away, Lenny? Not hearing you, you're still on mute.
Yeah, no, when we get to, my comment will be when we get to four Bravo, thanks.
Okay, great.
I'll put it in
Yeah.
I'll put it in the web box, thank you.
That sounds great. So yeah, we'll just go page by page, and if you see anything that needs to be changed on that page, put your hand up and we'll recognize you. Okay, so I would just go to the next page if it seems like, and maybe Lenny put your, or I don't know. There you go. Okay. I don't know. Okay, so page 6. Any no comments? Page 6. Page 7. Any comments, corrections? All good on page 7? Okay.
Season dates. We did mention, it was in the comments about the reason for the long, the desire for a longer season for December 7th, and the March 6th opening for favorable tides in the Canadian zone.
Right. Favorable tides.
So Dan, or whoever made the motion said the tides in Alaska were okay on the 5th or the whatever it was, and Canada said, well, they don't really kind of calm down enough until the 6th of March, so they made that change. But
yeah, I realized we missed the whole rationale for that because there was also talk about an extended season to allow people to catch their quota given COVID. So maybe if we can capture those points. Colin, should we do this as we go, or how do you want? I mean, I think that's probably what we want to do, or do you want to write stuff and we'll come back and look at it, or should I write stuff? How do you want to do this?
It'd be preferable if you could work the wording up in the notes pad there, and I can actually place that right in the report, so that way I could capture exactly what you'd like, and then we don't have to go back and forth.
My laptop is, anyway. Okay, that's what I remember. If people want to add to that or have a different comment, I see Dan has his hand up. Go ahead, Dan.
My comment's on paragraph 20. So.
Okay, is this good for capturing? Okay, so let's put that in as rationale.
Where would you like it placed? After 11?
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Dan, why don't you take us to, or Colin, when you're ready to scroll to paragraph 20, I think Dan said.
Be 21 now.
Okay, thanks.
21.
I think we can delete this 21. CB noted, quoted Dr. Stewart's statement of confidence.
Okay.
I think we cover more of the facts above, and that's unnecessary.
Any objection to deleting that? Okay, seeing none, I think you're right, it's redundant. Okay, any other comments on this page?
Dan, do you have another comment? Hands up. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
I think now it's down. Up, back up. Is your hand just coming up on its own, or do you want to say something, Dan?
It's just popping up on its own. I'm done with this page. Thank you.
Sit on it. Okay. Next page then. Any comments here? Okay, keep going. If we miss something, if we go too fast, let us know, but we don't have a lot of time. Okay, any comments on this page? Kathy, go ahead. You're still muted, Kathy.
Details. This is kind of a comment and a complaint. It's really hard when you're the maker of the motion where all the rationale is suddenly split between areas and stated before the motion. And I don't know why we did this in the Alaska regions and then we turned around and the season dates and 2A and 2B have the motion and then they have the deal. I can't tell you if everything I said for supporting the motion I made is in there or not. I think the one point, there's kind of 2 points that I think aren't really captured because they weren't speaking to specific regulatory areas so much. One is that this was a major compromise between all the Alaska participants, and two, that we had looked at it on a region-wide basis as we were moving the quote around willingly, as well as individual areas.
Okay.
So I'm not going to make you redo the whole thing, but I just, in the future, I really don't like the stylized report. I've said that in the past. It's really hard to follow when you make a motion how it works. And I'll just leave it at that.
I'm not sure I'm understanding what you don't like, and so we had the overall and people spoke to it, but I wanted to make sure we captured things people said specific to regions, and so that's why we then broke the rationale into each region. And if what you're saying is you want up under the main motion,
let me see if I can clarify it, Linda. Nothing was talked about any of the Alaska areas until I actually had put the motion on the table, and I spoke to the motion in general terms, and then people went and spoke to specific regional areas. By putting the whole motion at the end, and the rationale split apart and things, you kind of miss the motion that you're talking to in the individual comments, because normally we do go around and we talk about the different areas and then the motion goes on and then specific to the motion, but that isn't how we did it this time. So the broader comment on the motion itself isn't really captured because you're trying to make those points into the individual areas. Just no big deal. I'm not going to worry about it this time, but something to think about. It's just the commission's whole new method of doing minutes just is troubling to me.
Well, I mean, we're happy to move the motion up above all the rationale for the areas, if that would help. And we can put a couple big defining points under the motion before we go through the individual areas. I captured the one in the notepad of US CB noted this is a major compromise between all Alaska areas. And I didn't get the other one.
I would just get that one tucked in somewhere, and I'm not going to worry about it because you don't have enough time, but I just...
Okay, I can tell you that one's tucked in there. It's in there in probably a couple places, but definitely under 3A. And
I think you can add it under as a new paragraph 33 and just say the CB recognize this is a major compromise. That's what you do when you get later into the charter sector work and stuff. So it could just be a new paragraph 33 when we get.
Okay, USCB recognize this is a major compromise between all Alaska areas. And then Kathy, did you have a second that main point you wanted there?
Nope, not important.
That's the main one. Okay.
So
All
there's
right,
a number of people with hands up.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I capture Kathy's point. All right, so we're not down to 33 yet, but I've put it in the notepad to insert that when we get there. We're still on this section, and oh wow, okay, go ahead, Brian.
Thank you, Linda. Just real quick on back to 18, we went through it really fast. On G, if we go to G, it says Alaska benefited from this, but Canada was not mitigated for the lost access. And I just I wonder if mitigated is the right word there, and it should be compensated. That's not really what mitigated means. Just kind of a language point or point of clarification. If that is what they would like there, I just wonder if that's.
Jim, I'll look to you to decide if you want to.
Well, we've always talked about mitigation, and so I guess that was in the context of what's happening now. In the past, it was never mitigated in the past, and I still think that's valid.
Okay, so you want to keep mitigated.
Yeah, unless someone from Canada has some other thing, but
Okay, yeah, and it's, it says at the top, this is noted by Canada CB members, so, it's specific to what you want in there. But thanks for the suggestion, Brian, and we'll let them decide about changing that. Rebecca?
Thanks. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. So I want to agree with Kathy's comments. The structure of the minutes or the report as it came out was not what I was expecting to see. I didn't realize the comments would be broken out by area, but I also agree with Kathy. I'm not asking that at this late hour it be rewritten. Specifically, the comments I made would apply to the three areas where I'm speaking on behalf of IFQ holders. That's 3A, 3B, and 4A. All of my comments ended up stuck under the 3A section. So I'm wondering if there's a good way to denote that because the comments are organized by area, that some of them do apply to more than one area.
Yes, and if you want us to, it would be helpful, Rebecca, is if you would highlight the comments, because I'm not sure I would pick out the right ones at this point, that you want to apply to multiple areas, and we can just put in parentheses after it. This comment also applies to area 3B and 4A, if that's the other two areas.
Yep, and I can tell you what those are. They're under number 27, paragraphs E, F, and G.
Great. Okay.
Yep,
So
those comments would, they would apply to areas 3A, 3B, and 4A. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm happy to organize this different. In the past, when we tried to put everything together and not give people sort of opportunity to address their area specifically, there was a sense that too much got lost. So we went to this approach, but we can always go a different direction. Okay.
Can I just clarify that my comment's right? Was it 4A or was it a different reg area? I missed the 4.
4A.
Yes, it was 4A.
4A, and which sub bullets are they? E,
F, and G.
E, F, and G. Roger.
Okay, looks like Kathy, you're up. Oh no, I've got Brian.
That was a legacy hand. Sorry.
Okay, Kathy as well. Okay, and then Lenny. Can't hear you, Lenny.
Hey, how about now? Yeah, I just want to know if now would be an appropriate time from the comment in my chat box for 4 Bravo. I don't know if it's on this page or the next page. It's 24C.
Yeah, okay, so for 4B note, is that please include paragraph 24?
Instead of just saying, after it says moderate approach, if you could just say, given the 30%, moderate given the 30% survey increase.
Should probably have a comma before and after that phrase, but we can do that wordsmith thing later if we need to.
Yeah, no, I think you could, and then you could delete the rest of the sentence. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Awesome. All right, Dan.
Going back up to paragraph, I think it's 27. Point G, you were just up there a little bit ago.
Okay.
Point G, as in golf. There we go. That's it. The first sentence, just an editorial comment, seems a bit of a fragment to me. A paper that brings all the information in one place relative to the impacts of higher harvest levels in one biological region on the other. So I would say would be helpful moving forward is how I would end that sentence to make it a complete thought.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that quickly?
Sure. At the end of the first sentence, right after regions, just type in would be helpful moving forward.
Yeah, and this is Rebecca. That was my comment. It actually originally started with it would be helpful to have a paper, and it looks like that got dropped off.
I think it was.
Thank you.
But I think this captures it. No, you don't need that, Colin, if we've added it at the end. So, and this may not be the best place to have that comment. I was looking for a better place and hadn't found it. But there may be, yeah, we can think about that. Okay, let's keep moving since we are short on time.
Garrett?
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Garrett.
Yeah, you guys got me.
Yep.
Yeah, so, and for section 28 for 3B, I was under the impression that comments or rationale included in the chat would be included in the minutes. In years past, we've included, stock assessment data that was, noteworthy and worth mentioning to highlight from the areas. Is that something that can be included? I did include my data in the chat.
Why don't you put it in the chat again? I know I had your points and I thought I had folded those in, but if you want to cut and paste it into the chat right now, we can see if people are good with adding it in.
Yeah, I can do that. And then I guess just on one other note too, if I recall correctly, I was the first person to speak and really am the only representative speaking primarily for 3B. I think I would like to see my first comments for that area about the importance of understanding the partial survey in 2020 as being the first item that's mentioned, because I do think that's very important to understanding, what appears to be a kind of an unprecedented increase there could be, explained by that missing survey data in 2020, and it's not necessarily an outlier, but hopefully a trend, and I hope that's the case for everybody. So that's another wish. So I'll try to figure out how to get those points into the chat.
Okay, we can just move E up and put it as A, reorder that section. I don't think anybody will object to that. And then okay, trying to keep up with the chat. We'll Ray, I see your comment there, and we'll try to get that when we get down to, I can't see the whole chat, which is part of my challenge. Okay. Yeah, so if you want to put something in the chat to add to this section to 3B, Garrett, go ahead and do that, and we can, well, I don't know. Colin, is it okay to come back to it, or does that create too much confusion?
As long as you remind me, we can come back to it.
Okay. All right, so yeah, cut and paste it in the chat. We'll stick it in there. Oh, there it is. Okay. So everybody take a look at what's in the chat from Garrett. I think we've already got the incomplete survey in another bullet, right?
Yeah. Sorry, we could drop that.
Okay. Okay. Any objection to adding Garrett's points here into the rationale under 3B? Not seeing any. Okay, so Colin, would you cut and paste those in for us? And Garrett, do you have a preference on where they get added in? Is that okay where Colin's got them?
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to be in the minute. So thanks for the time and the adjustment. Appreciate it.
No worries. Okay. We good on this page then? I know we're a little bit skimpy with comments on the next area, so if anybody has something to add, they're happy to do so. But for some reason, I had next to nothing in my notes for this area. If we're good with that, it's, I think, not a controversial area. Okay, and then how about for B? Lenny, do you have something you want changed there? We got that one. Maybe that's good then.
Somebody just sent me a text. Can I just look at it really quick?
You good with what's there now for 4B, Lenny?
Yeah, I think it's fine for now. I might get back to you. Thank you.
I think
Okay,
C is kind of a fragment.
4CD.
Oh, okay, so it should say given the 30% survey increase. Thank you.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. All right, and then Ray in the chat has a request for the start of bullet D needs clarification and suggested change. If you want to just cut and paste, setting TCUI at 3.81 million pounds sets the FCUI above 1.67 and allows area cat sharing plan. Can we just cut and paste that in? Colin from the chat.
Okay, just to clarify, is that D? Is that correct? Setting.
Yes, and just erase what we have there up through cat sharing plan and substitute it all the way through plan, and then just substitute in what Ray suggested. I did not get any written comments, rationale from 4CD&E, so I was working strictly from notes on that one. Okay, and then I think in paragraph, which is now 32, is where we want to add what was in the notepad.
Hey, Lena, do you hear me?
That goes
There was
after
one
paragraph
other suggestion
33.
for the full CD section.
Okay, we'll go back to it. Let's just let Colin get this. So it goes right after 33, I guess. Oh, yeah. And then this is my question. I think we've already captured this. What's there from MPFM's, sorry, from MPFA above. And it's a little bit of an outlier there, but I just wanted to make sure, you know, Matt, did you want that restated there?
Your Malcolm's here now, actually, I'm back.
Oh, it's Malcolm. Okay.
Thank you. No, and I don't think, just, we haven't been putting names of groups in, so I don't think our name definitely doesn't need to be in there. I just sent it that way originally, not thinking, but, and I don't, unless you want to just, I think that could be added to that same sentence, because it was the same sentiment that we all were putting in there, but they would just say conference board members, many conference board members support all areas being at or close to reference level provided by the IPHC Secretariat, and recognize that this motion is a major compromise between all Alaska areas.
Sure. So in other words,
Just change A to take out that North Pacific Fisheries Association.
Not the whole sentence, just take out MPFA reference and make it many conference board members note, since we like the word note so much, noted support, that's fine, for all areas being at or close to the reference levels. We can probably take out the many, right? And just start with conference board members or U.S. conference board members, noted support.
Probably U.S.
Okay. For all areas being at or close to the reference levels provided by the IPHC Secretariat. And note that these Alaska TCUIs are a major compromise between all Alaska areas.
Do you want that as part of A, or do you want that as part of 34?
I think what was being suggested is it be all part of A.
Okay.
Can we move the notes box up just slightly so we can see the work that's being done, please?
Yes.
Maybe it's just on the screen a little.
That help, or I'll just move it out of the way. Okay.
There.
You're an all-star, Colin. This is very difficult.
I'll just confirm that this is actually Ed making all these edits.
You're both rock stars.
Colin's an all-star too.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, both you guys.
Okay.
Very, very impressive.
Appreciate it. Okay, so let's see. USCB noted. This is a major compromise between all Alaska areas.
Yeah, and noted that the Alaska TCEYs.
Oh, sorry about that. I was just checking. Okay, and then another noted here, US.
Or you could just say, and that the Alaska TCEYs are a major compromise. Well, no, you got to be in a different place. So after IPHC Secretariat.
Oh, okay.
Put a comma. And then the sentence would be, and that the recommended Alaska TCEYs are or represent a major compromise between all Alaska areas. Just make it are a major compromise.
That the recommended AKTCYs are a major compromise between all Alaska areas.
Everybody good with that? We got, let's see, Malcolm, you still have your hand up? Is that?
Just looks like you might have one extra period after R there. Alaska. Oh, and then it's TCEYs. Because this is a final product, right?
Are a major compromise. Okay, everybody good?
No, it should say say TCE wise, it's TEC wise. TCE wise.
Oh, oops. Yeah, sorry, I missed that.
Just might trip you up when you're reading it. Which good luck.
The thing that trips me up is that all through regulatory proposals, we both say there's the regulatory proposal, and then we say we address the regulatory proposal.
Lenny's got his hand up.
Yeah, go ahead, Lenny.
No, I'm sorry, someone else from Area 4 called me up, and we go back to that language in 24C, and technically it shouldn't say survey, it should say TCEY reference instead of survey. 30% increase in the TCEY reference.
Okay, so back up to Area 4.
Although before you leave there, that still wasn't fixed. Sorry. I just don't. You said Alaska TCEY.
Alaska T. Okay, repeat that, sorry.
It shouldn't be TECY, it should be TCEY.
Oh, okay. Pardon me. Okay.
Okay, and then Lenny, we're going back to.
If we could go back to 24C, another member of Area 4B called me up and is asking that we change to the, instead of saying survey increase, we say 30% increase in the reference TCEY.
You're in the wrong place. No, that's not the. Lenny, can you get the number correct? It's not 24. Go back to 4.
No, it might have. It's in 4. It's under Area 4B, please.
Oh, okay. Area 4B.
You have to use it on the screen because we're changing numbers as we go through this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, right here.
Right. So instead of saying 30% survey increase, it would say 30% increase in the reference TCEY.
Increase in the reference TCEY.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and then Ray, you have one. Did we miss one? So back to 4C, D, and E. Bullet A, to the end of that, the request to add, at the end of that sentence, right, which benefits the resource coastwide. Okay. All right, let's start scrolling down. Okay, anything else on page 11? Let's go to, so we're into the regulatory. Lenny, can you take your hand down if you're set? Thank you. Okay, so page 12. And did you, Colin, did you get the, let me see, I haven't had a chance to look.
I did add the whale depredation section.
Okay, great. Yeah, under traps. That was something that got dropped out somehow. Okay. Everything looked fine to people on 12. Oh, I think, shucks, I had one. Sorry, before we go there, under the TCY recommendations, it was 5.3, right above the table with the Alaska numbers in it. There's the statement about yeah, so that last sentence about the increase in IPHC regulatory, it should be areas 2C and 4C, D, and E from the reference level.
Am I in the right spot there?
Right after 2C, right after where it says area, make area plural. Yeah, that plural, and then after 2C, say and 4C, D, and E.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and then scrolling, we're back, I think we're on page 12. Dan, you have something?
I do. 43 is a fragment. The USCB members noted should be the hard work.
Yeah.
And is it by stakeholders and fishery managers or just hard work in general? The hard work by stakeholders and fishery managers, what's the sentiment of that?
I think that's right. Or by, you want to say by the Halibut Charter Management Committee, Forrest, or Brian, why don't you tell us what you want there?
Sorry, I got caught back on that last topic we were working on.
Whose hard work do you want to note in 43?
Is it the Halibut Charter Management Committee that you want to identify?
I think the management committee and Alaska Department of Fish and Game staff.
Okay, hard work by, so after hard work, say by
Yes,
the Halibut Charter Management Committee and the ADFG staff.
Yes, thank you.
So, Linda, so back to the increases in 2C and 4CDE coming out of reductions to the other two areas listed there. The recommended TCYs for 3A are also above reference level, so should we put that in there? Or what? Is it for consistency? I don't remember the discussion, to be honest with you, but...
Maybe.
Do you see my point?
I do. Can you work on a...
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should go back to that.
Before you do, real quick, in paragraph 44, it says the commission noted, and I don't think we're quite commissioners yet.
Okay, so where should I go next? Sorry, I missed that.
Right, that was right above the table that has the Alaska numbers in it.
This table here?
Yes. So
This 2C, 4CDE, 3A, I guess, would work.
So do 2C, 3A.
Oh, yeah, that'd
And
be
that's
right.
good.
Yeah.
It depends if you like an Oxford comma or not.
Oh, Oxford commas are everybody's favorite, right? Okay, Dan, you still have your hand up? Or do you have something else? Or okay, Chris?
Yeah, can we scroll down to, I think it's paragraph 46?
Yep.
Yeah, I think there we want to say the Conference Board noted this change would establish equity with IPHC regulations for U.S. pot gear, because we're not actually, it's not equity with the U.S. regulations, it's the IPHC regulations with respect to U.S. pot gear. And then say, and, sorry, with respect to U.S. pot gear and may minimized by bycatch and reduce whale depredation, and then just take out the everything after the semicolon.
Great, thank you. Okay, ready to go to page 13? Anything on page 13?
Malcolm?
Yep, thank you.
Go ahead.
So, paragraph 53.
Okay.
So I'm still getting used to our terminology here, but the way this reads to me, the conference board recommended that the commission adopt proposal IPHC B4 or whatever. But so since we didn't pass it, it passed on one section, not the other. Would we just say the conference board considered that the commission adopt the proposal and then show the votes? Because since it didn't pass both sections, I mean, we technically didn't recommend that.
Yeah, you're right. So considered, and then take out that the commission adopt.
Yeah, I think we yeah, right, okay.
So the CB considered proposal.
I think considered is the right.
Yeah, I do too.
That's one of David's words we can use.
Yeah.
Okay. So the CB considered proposal Prop B4. Does that work?
Yes. And then just reflect the vote, I guess. And we have, the discussion points up above. Good catch. Okay. Dan, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I think we need to do a little work on 52 as well. It should be the CB considered an amendment. And then if Canada agrees the proposal will be implemented following September 1, it's kind of confusing. Maybe we can say an amendment to the big long number string, limiting implementation of the 3 fish bag limit until after September 1st would be a cleaner way of stating it. The implementation of a 3 fish bag limit. Until after September 1st. And then you go away and just go to the vote.
Yeah, delete the rest of that sentence to the vote.
Can you scroll so we can see 49, or just the top of this topic, please?
There?
Yeah, and let me. I need to expand out again just a sec. We haven't captured any flavor of like, needing more time to analyze or digest what we heard. Unless I'm missing it here, and
if you want to add something add it after 50, so express concern.
But I think it's fine the way it's written.
Limit would allow.
But I think it's fine the way it's written. We don't need to
Either
put all
add
the
it to that
justification why we
paragraph.
did or didn't pass it. You know, an amendment was proposed, it was defeated. That's good enough.
I think what he wants to capture is that there is interest in having more information, or that was a big part of why this was opposed. If you have a sentence you want to add either to 50 or make a new 51, for us, do you have one you can suggest?
We could say USCB members. What are we doing? Expressed the need for more analysis.
Noted.
Before being able.
Okay, so should it be its own sentence?
Yeah.
Do you want its own sentence? I mean, its own paragraph, so it's a new number 51. Okay, so under 50, we create a new number 51, or that's fine where you are. So some U.S. CB members noted.
I guess we're just jumping
interest in or concern about lack of data. Is that what you're?
Sorry, there's a lot of background noise and distractions.
So some USCB members noted concern over limited data or something on impact of 3 fish bag limit, on the impact of the 3 fish bag limit. Did I get it? Let me just make sure we're getting what, is that what you wanted?
Yeah, and I think, so to me, and I disagree with Tom completely, to me that matters that, you know, like if this is making an impression on the commissioners, it matters that, you know, we were concerned that we had some legitimate concerns, but some of it was based on the fact that we're just hearing this. And we needed time to look into, we needed time to digest it. So my wordsmithing's not working. My wordsmithing isn't working this morning. So, but that's essentially there. USCB members note.
So concern over limited. How about limited data and time to? Well, no. Is that fine good. How it is, or do you want more?
This is Chuck. Can I make a comment here?
Okay. All right.
Okay, it's not on what.
Maybe. Yeah.
Your number 51. Now, where did you've changed things around? You're talking about a. Have you deleted a? Oh, jeez. Crazy phones. I don't know where we're at on this thing now. It's all been changed around.
Can we change data to analysis on 51, please? Unless you think that, yeah. Thanks.
Sure. I'm just trying to capture, I mean, I think you're right, that was talked about quite a bit, so I'm just trying to capture what you think should be there. Okay, Malcolm? And we can come back to you, Chuck. Malcolm, you're on mute. We can't hear you, Malcolm, you're still on mute.
Sorry, that was.
Oh, now he's gone. Okay, let's go to. Oh, go ahead. That was a residual. Okay, Chuck, if you've found the spot you wanted to.
No, I'm gathering you changed 51 to reflect a different aspect, and initially you had a statement stating that they're concerned, that suggesting to increase our sizes in season, and now I can't find it. So that has been deleted. Well, then 50. Oh,
It's now
okay.
52.
That
Now it's
statement.
number 52.
I suppose you can note all you want. It is not allowed in Canada. So why would that be sitting in there as, it's fine, you can comment all you like on something and they could never understand it. Why we aren't allowed to change our size in season. We are not allowed.
Let's delete that. I mean, if it's, yeah, let's delete it. If it's a comment that's made without understanding the regs or the situation, then it shouldn't be there. So let's take it out. Thanks, Chuck. Okay, Garrett.
Yes, I apologize for the background noise. I was just kind of piggybacking there on Forrest, and more specifically, we were speaking to angler behavior as far as data analysis.
So do you want to add on the impact of a 3-fish bag limit to
Please,
angler behavior?
yes,
Do you want
angler
that at the end of
behavior
that
under
sentence?
a normal conditions of the year, and that was part of the talking point, was that around COVID, this has been difficult to capture accurate data as far as our normal angler behavior and normal attendance and other.
Maybe we should say under normal non-pandemic conditions, because someone's going to say, what is normal?
But in all honesty,
define normal.
Is that true? Was it discussed as such in the meeting? I don't think so. And it made no difference on our fishery, and that's what you're discussing.
Yeah, Garrett made that point.
I did make that point. I'm just not responding to the chat.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett did. Okay. Yeah, I think that was brought up and it was discussed. Maybe it's a matter of opinion whether the pandemic had an effect on the fishery. Not an expert on the Canadian recreational fishery, but that was expressed as a concern. Okay, anything else on this page? Let's see if we can get to the next page. All right. I feel like someone sent me. Oh, I know what it was. There was a request under the incidental bycatch section to add the links that Alicia provided. I don't know whether people think that would be helpful, but and I don't know that we have to find them and cut and paste them in now, but that was a request relative to this section, and we can certainly add those if that would help. Any other suggested changes to this?
We have Garrett, Chris, and Dan.
There's a lot here, so take a minute. So, Garrett? Yeah, Garrett, go ahead. Garrett, is that a residual hand, or did you have a comment on this section? Okay, let's go to Chris.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, good. Paragraph 61. Yes. I know it's probably wording I used, but just after you and Alicia, Linda pointed out to me how the process is going to work to bring the changes into the Amendment 80 fleet. I'm not sure the word adopted is correct there. I think it should be measures that have been developed for the Amendment 80 fleet. It sounds like they have to go through that final step, so I just want to make sure it's accurately reflecting. Appreciate you educating me on that. I also had a comment on 62.
Yeah. So that should be, it could be adopted by the North Pacific or developed by the North
Sure, yeah.
Pacific Council for the Amendment 80 fleet. That would probably
Just want to make sure
be a
it's
reflection
accurate.
of where we are.
I have on 62.
Okay, and the next one?
Canada seniors noted this concern is not new and was expressed, or just say this concern was also expressed.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me? I seem to be having
2012,
connecting problems here.
Workshop?
Hello?
We can hear you. Can you maybe not hear us?
Can you guys hear us, Linda? I seem to be having connectivity issues.
We can hear you, Chris.
We can hear you. Okay, looks like we'll get Chris back in a minute.
I got one comment on this section and one on the previous section. So let's, while we're all here on this section, and I can use the numbers that are up there. Let's look at 64. USCP members noted. Sorry, go back to 64. There we go. I think an important point that was brought up is that the Alaskan Observer Program does undergo an annual scientific review process with the SSC and everything, and it specifically looks at statistical reliability and coverage levels, and that's missing. So where I would put that in is USCB members noted, and then right after that noted, okay, modify so 64. So right there, right after noted in 64, insert the word that the Alaskan Observer Program undergoes annual scientific review process. Where statistical reliability is explicitly evaluated. And then period, and you can say in 2022, Gulf of Alaska coverage is 30%, Bering Sea coverage is at least 100%, and in some fisheries 200%. Gulf of Alaska trawl coverage it's also expertly evaluated as well as explicitly.
Anybody know how to spell that? The spell check's not helping me.
Got an I in there instead of the E that you have.
Just put specifically evaluated if you want.
Explicit.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't rely
all
on
these big words I don't know how to spell.
Yeah.
And so let people look at that for a bit, and then I had one more comment on the previous section. If we're done with that.
I think that's good. So go ahead. Let's get your other one. And
so I don't know the new paragraph numbering, but just go back up to where 6.3.1 starts. Okay. It's paragraph 56. The conference board noted that the regulation guiding consumption on board the action be carried forward. I think you just delete that. I think it's captured in the paragraph below it, and if we're saying carry something forward, it would be a recommend, and there was no specific action about that, so I think that's just going to cause confusion. And the idea of that there was interest in finding an enforceable regulation that would allow consumption on
Agreed.
board is incorporated into the paragraph below it.
Yep. I think we take that out. That's redundant. I think I meant to delete. Okay. So Joel, I think, or Dan, did we get your points? Looks like it. Okay, let's go to Joel. Uh-oh, Joel doesn't have a microphone. Oh, so looks like he's got it in the chat. Regarding paragraph 59, the conference board received additional information from Dr. Miller regarding where the bycatch material presented to the FCC can be found on the web. Yeah, that was the link I talked about adding. We can add that, noting that those links were provided, and add them to this. But maybe we can dig those out of yesterday's chat after we make it through this. If I had Chris next.
I'm fine.
It looks like he's
Linda, so we're good.
dropped
Thank you.
off. Okay. Again, so. Okay, great. Okay. All right. We'll get those links added. I'm going to just put that on the breakout room notepad so we don't forget it. Okay, so let's go to, I forget what page we're on. Let's go to the next page.
Yeah, scroll down to 66, it looks like. Keep going down to point E on that one. Yeah, I think that could be reworded a little bit. I think the 2 points I made is that developing monitoring standards is kind of a secondary issue, and what's really more important is trying to find agreement on what the basis of the distribution would be, and there's also questions on how and who would determine these standards. And so I would rephrase E to read, just start with developing standards for monitoring. Is a secondary issue. And questioned how, who would determine these standards. And you can delete the rest.
Okay.
Linda, you go back up, I think it's 65 now. Yeah, the last sentence there I don't think reflects what my comments were. I think it should say, also, the MSC work plan has been finalized for 2021-23. And that additional direction from the, okay, and then go, and from the commissioners on distribution and any new or revised objectives is needed before we can move forward. on distribution and any revised objectives or new objectives. Yeah, thank you, Linda.
So any new or revised. And did what?
Revised. That would be revised objectives
or directions.
Any new or revised objectives is needed before we can move forward. Correct.
And then delete the rest of the sentence,
Thank you.
right? Okay.
Yeah, I did see one more change, a little lower down in the document that caught my eye. I'm done. So we're done with this paragraph. Would be go down to 68, I think it is now.
Okay.
Yeah, 68 in the B statement. It says be developed in a transparent process with adequate input from stakeholders. I realize that that is literally what we put on the screen, but we never described what adequate was. And so I'm just wondering to be less confusing just to delete the word adequate and just say with input from stakeholders rather than getting you stuck up there with a question about what do you mean by that.
Unless somebody objects, happy to take that out. Right up there with defining normal. Okay. Anything else? We're getting close to the bottom of the page. Okay. Anything else from anybody? And I guess we will. You'll fill in the boxes.
I can populate the members.
Okay.
Agenda.
Okay. And then I think we want a motion to adopt the draft report. If people want. People feel ready, we can entertain that motion. If you want just another 3 minutes to scan it.
I move to adopt the annual report as
that motion.
Presented. So the conference board report.
Second. Forrest.
Who is the second? Forrest, okay. Okay, been moved and seconded. You want
No, I think everybody did a good job, and I think it's, the only thing I would do is amend my own motion and put a new paragraph in saying the chair did a fantastic job chairing the meeting, and the staff support in trying to develop these minutes was world class as well. So thanks to everybody.
Yeah, here on the staff. We do give them some shout out, but you're right. It's been fabulous. Despite challenges, glitches, and voting and all that, we made it through it. Okay. Looks like nope. No more comments on the motion. Oh, Jerry, did you want to comment? We're not hearing you. Jerry, go ahead.
They had this problem yesterday.
You're just coming through as static. Yeah. Why don't we give you a second to put something in the chat if it's important to hear what you're saying before we vote.
Thanks. I just wanted to make a request before we all scatter once this is approved. that if next year, even if the entire report is not available, for example, if it wasn't available yesterday afternoon, if the bulk of the report could be distributed so that we have a chance to read it over and possibly send in edits ahead of time, that really would have helped me. So I know this year there was a desire to have the conversation about, what we're going to do going forward, which was scheduled for this morning, in order to include in the report. But I think most of the changes actually were on things that we discussed prior to that. So I just think it's really helpful to have a little bit more time to read the report, and then to send in, some of the wordsmithing edits. They're more well suited to sometimes be done in writing versus in a virtual meeting. So that was my only request, but I do acknowledge the Herculean effort that staff and the chairs undertook to get us through this. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Rebecca. I appreciate that. We can try and do that if we have a chance to review it after the end of the first day and then send it out to everybody. Well, we can have that as a goal for sure. Okay, did we get anything? Oh yeah, just above it says U.S. report. Be composed of, should be composed of. Okay. Just above. Did you find that, Colin? I'm not sure where that is.
Sure, but I could find it. Composed. Oh, I see it.
Here we go.
Oh.
Nope.
Ed, try to search for the word compromise, or compromised. I think it should say comprised instead of compromised.
Sorry, I'm not finding it. Okay.
Yeah,
sounds
It's
good.
right there
I
in
think we can
paragraph
take a
68.
vote and we'll
It's
find that
highlighted.
and fix
You just
it.
had it highlighted in paragraph
All right.
68. It should be comprised instead of compromised.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, let's try this. Is there any objection to the motion? Well, we should probably vote, right? Are we supposed to, by our terms of reference, probably on a final report? Okay, let's do thumbs up, thumbs down, or you can abstain with a raised hand. And if the slate's cleared, are we ready for everybody to vote? Colin or Ed?
Yeah, everyone can vote. Go ahead.
Okay, go for it. So while we're doing that, do we need to elect chairs for next year? Isn't that how we've set this up?
You did
Or
it
did
for
we
2
do it
years
for 2 years and then electing chairs? I'm trying
So
to
we'll elect
remember.
them at the next meeting, my understanding. I can
Okay,
double check
so-
the terms of reference.
Got it. Okay. Okay, we're about to close the vote. There's a few people that aren't showing up. Let's see, Rebecca Skinner and Seago don't
They
have an
can
vote
vote.
or aren't
We'll
allowed to vote,
capture
but
it
they would like to vote
for
in
this
support. Okay. All right, we got them. Any other voting problems we need to address? Tom Russell votes yes. Okay, and we're scheduled to present this in 41 minutes. 21
so
minutes,
correct.
right?
So our terms expire at the beginning of the next annual meeting.
Okay. All right, so I think we can close the vote. And then I would just ask that as soon as you have a clean copy, if you would send it to Jim and to me, I will, I guess, print it off.
Yes, roger that. As soon as we get the copy approved by Dave, it will get sent to you.
All right, Dave's got to look at it and prove it. Okay, all right, we'll be looking for it, and see everybody in the main room at 12:30 Alaska, 1:30 BC in Lower.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you to the chairs.